In this video, I will show you how you can use quizzes in Canvas for your primary classroom. First, we're going to find our quizzes tab in our navigation bar. Now right here, you'll see that mine is not visible to students. If I have quizzes linked elsewhere, students will be able to see quizzes, but they are not going to be able to see it in their navigation bar. Now in our primary classrooms, it is best to keep this navigation bar as simple as possible. So we're going to click on our quizzes tab. Here you'll see any quizzes that you've previously created, if you have created any at all. And then we're going to press on this plus quiz button at the top, and this will enable us to create a new quiz. Once we open this up, we can give our quiz a name, say how many points it's worth, and down here we see the submission type. New quizzes is already an LTI, so we do not need to do anything here. So leave this box alone. Now down here, you'll say who you're going to assign it to, when it's going to be due, and then when it's going to be available for students to take. Once you have all of these settings filled in, you're going to click on Build. When you get to this Build page, you'll be able to add some instructions. In a primary classroom, it is helpful to add either video or audio recordings of everything on your quizzes, especially in our younger classrooms like kindergarten and early first grade, because students are still learning how to read. So it helps for them to have those visual or audio directions to help guide them. So here I can tell them, read pages 5 to 10 and answer these questions. Then students know which pages they're supposed to read and they answer the questions. Now, if you want to add a recording, you can insert an edit media, or if you want to record it elsewhere and link it, you can also do that. So with read alouds, if you have comprehension questions on a read aloud, you want a student to listen to a story and then answer questions, you can also link that read aloud on here as well. Now you have your title and your instructions. You're ready to create some questions. So when you click on this plus right here, you'll be able to see the different question types. So some of my favorites in a primary classroom are multiple choice, fill in the blank, multiple answer, and true and false. Click on any of these. I'm going to choose multiple answer. This question title is where you say if it's question 1, question 2, any of that. The question stem here is what you're asking students to do. For a question stem, we can say what is a double-digit number and then give students some choices. Now, with multiple answer, you can have more than one checkbox marked. And so then make sure that you click off the ones that are the wrong answers and then click on the one that is the correct answer. And same with multiple choice. Make sure you choose the correct answer before you save the question. Otherwise, it will mark students wrong. If you want to add more answers, you can always do that. And then down here, you have some options. This is for a calculator, and this one is to shuffle the choices. So if you want these to be shuffled, then you'll click on that button. The only thing with shuffling choices is if you are doing recordings of questions and answers for your students. If you're doing all of the recording for that one question, you say, what is a double-digit number? 6, 21, 87, 9. If you do that in the question stem, you do not want to shuffle the answers. If you only have a recording for the question stem, that's fine. Or if you want to go through and add recordings for each answer, then you would shuffle choices. And with something like numbers, they're able to read those numbers, especially in the middle of first grade and up. However, if it's words, make sure that they are able to read it if you're going to shuffle it. Now here you have this grading option. This is for the multiple answer. You can give them partial credit if they get part of it right, but if you're looking for an exact match, you can keep that checked. Down here on the bottom, we have how many points it's worth, so you can change this to whatever you'd like. So I can say it's worth 2 points because there's 2 correct answers, and then I would press done. And then you can go through and keep adding questions for your students to complete. Now, if you want to see what the quiz looks like before you assign it, Up here we have a preview page, and you can see what the students will see. So I'm going to exit the preview. And we're going to go back here. So on the left side here, you do see that there's 2 points already. I can expand this. There's 2 points. That one question is worth 2 points. You have title, instructions, and then how many questions there are. So far I only have the one question, but I can go through and add more if I want to. Now in our settings, this is where you have some more options. Shuffle questions, shuffle answers. This one question at a time shows only one question on the screen before students press next, and then they can see the next question. So this one is very helpful with our primary students. You could require student access code, have a time limit. This filter IP addresses is great for when you want them to only do something at school. Allow calculator, allow multiple attempts. We can click on that one. And then this is where students can retake a quiz. We can choose which score we want to keep. And then you can say how many attempts they're allowed. So you can have it unlimited attempts, or you can limit it to 2 or 3 attempts. And then this waiting period, if you want them to wait a certain time before they take it again, you're going to press that button. Okay, so now we have the reports, and this is where you can look at how your students scored after they take the quiz. Now, real quick, I'm going to go back to that first quiz that I had in my quizzes tab and show you how these look. So here's the quiz that I have previously created in this course, and I'm going to go to reports to show you how those reports look. So I can click on quiz and item analysis, and this shows up a lot like your results. This is where you can see how your students did and what the highest score and what the lowest score were. And then you can click on these arrows and you can see what everybody chose. So this puts it into nice graphs for you to see your results. Okay, so that is reports. And then if I go out to moderate, I can see how many attempts they took, what their score was, how long it took them. And then over here we have accommodations. So let's say your student has an IEP and they need additional time. Whenever you choose one of these, it's going to affect all of their course assessments for that student. So if you give them additional time, or if you remove the time limit and give them unlimited time on this assignment, then it will give them those accommodations for the entire course. When we go to moderate, we can go in and say how many attempts we want that student to have. So if there's already 2 attempts listed on that course, we can go through and give them 2 more attempts if they need those extra attempts. And then we can also adjust their time. Both of these are ways that we can accommodate our students with special needs, 504s, or ELL students. So once you've given any students accommodations that need accommodations, then you can go through and press return, and it will take you back to your quiz homepage. Now here we see that test quiz that I just created, and I can click on that, and then I can save and publish if I want my students to take that quiz. And that is how you create a quiz in Canvas.